So in a situation, somebody may have felt that they was getting away with a situation. Somebody was taking advantage of this one. Whoever it is that worked with like the police station or whatever the case may be, somebody was taking trying to take full advantage of it. And the reason being why I was saying that, because I was like, if somebody was over here really trying to insult somebody's look or something like that, because I'm telling you, it's that girl Jasmine Santiago, or I want to say her name was Robinson when she ended up moving out there to Houston. Because I'm getting this motherfucker talking about, I do not want no parts of this. This is them. This is what the fuck they get for working with Shaquetta Love and Ebony Jackson. Now, Ebony Jackson shit, since we was on deployment in Afghanistan, her ass was like addicted to that damn naproxen shit, right? Because someone felt like, well, shit, we leave this situation to the younger kids of who they was allowing to join in at that time. So that was like Marcus Phillips, Jenkins, Lewis, Williams, Shanice Williams, and them, um, and all of these motherfuckers. But one person that stood out, well, actually about two or three of these motherfuckers stood out because it was just like, shit, if they let Paramount ask, because she was like, because my name is Ashley the Queen, and I want to say she worked with finances. So when she got out, she started to work for a bank or some shit like that. And the situation with that, I was like, that would be weird if that motherfucker had the audacity to be sitting there trying to talk about somebody's looks or the audacity to even try to pick at somebody. Somebody fit the fucking laugh. I was like, if that motherfucker had the audacity to be sitting there trying to talk about something with her not needed looking ass, horse face. Oh, okay, like that bitch is like no, she was nowhere near fucking cute, cause but somebody used to make that motherfucker feel so fucking confident through the fucking roof that she was the finest thing, smoking thing, walking, but people only fucked with her because she knew how to botch the paperwork when it came to leave and finances, and she ended up going into the finances place. Now Jackson, she worked in the warehouse, so with her, but I know she moved to like Nevada, and I want to say she had a baby, then she lost a baby, then she probably tried to have another baby or some shit like that. Ebony Jackson, I remember that her ass is in Nevada. Cause I know they was gonna try to use these motherfuckers like, oh, we could play like we cool with her, and all of them need to know I'm not cool with none of these bitches. The other one was, I want to say her name was like Megan or something like that. She ended up marrying the Vietnamese. I think he was like Vietnamese, Chinese, Singaporean, or some Taiwan or something. He was very handsome looking or whatever. But for her, that bitch looked like a goddamn horse in the face. But because the only thing she had going for her was she had some big breasts. That was about it. Big breasts, and she stayed the shit. She had a little oomph to it, but that little motherfucker right there, it was just like, just by small little bullshit conversation, I could tell more or less. Now, when it came back to Shakita and the wife that Stokes he was married to prior to her, oh, she had a vendetta. She was gonna get her lick back, and how she was gonna get her lick back. Shit is taking out everybody. When I say Kimberly Smith, Terrence Smith, oh, trust and believe me, and everybody used to talk about her like, oh, she got a temper, she crazy. Now wherever what the fuck it was that they was talking about that girl is crazy, somebody's seeing right now she was nowhere near crazy, because I feel like she probably been lurking in the background, and it's like, somebody believe me. I believe that girl from the get go. But the thing of it was, I could tell because it was like the dynamic of them being together. It was like it turned violent after a while, but I knew why it turned violent. But quiet as it kept, the girl probably just didn't want to out his ass as being bisexual or having some certain prowess in the bedroom. But somebody getting the gist of, yeah, them older two kids was, yeah, that type of situation. Then I'm sitting here like, well, who else would be in it? And it was like the real estate chick, Jasmine, or whoever it was that had ties to James and shit like that. But them, like I'm saying, like these people just didn't know for a fucking fact that that motherfucker was like that. I feel like a lot of females that could have been messing with him didn't realize he was just like all the way like that, and he was using them to go ahead and do that. Umbrella was the little key source for them to go ahead and gather all the people that they didn't realize, like, but the thing of it was how she knew them, but she was one of, like, her mama was original, like, oh, but the thing of it was she was like under Regina's fucking ruling. Okay, these are like back in the day, lot lizards and shit like that. And somebody owed Regina the fucking favor, and then using her daughter, which she thought that the daughter, well, she already knew the daughter was fucking with James on the law, but Jarvis was the easy come up, like, oh, he gonna be trying to run away and stuff like that and control his ass, in which they controlled his ass. And now he's sitting there like, why am I getting questions? Why the rest of the family ain't getting questioned? Somebody's fit to drop the dime on this whole fucking group. That's gonna lead to a situation at the Veterans Affairs, and it's gonna lead to, because it's like, damn, with that, because I was like, damn, what did Miss Patricia do in the military? But I knew it was like something with not, well, Bagram, but Belgium or something like that, and finances. And then I was like, well, Shaquan, he was tied to South Carolina because he was my drill sergeant for basic training. So I was like, but why would his ass still be involved in this shit? Because I was like, shit, he get recognition, he got all this other stuff. So why the fuck would, you know, Shaquan Johnson still be involved in this shit? Because if he was smart, it'd be like, shit, this ain't nothing, this ain't got shit to do with me. Honestly, it's like, yeah, I did my little part, but I knew when it came to Ashley Boyd, she's still probably in this delulu about my husband, baby, your husband, he ain't no husband, okay? Well, technically, he like to be husband, if you get my gist. Like, I'm petty there, motherfucker. I don't give a shit. Because it was like, shooter, why are you waking up from this shit? And then it was like, it's the scientists, mad theories, right? So with the theories of this situation, because it's literally the situation I got going on currently, this shit all ties in, but it's leading to something way bigger. But this is one of those, you should have, it's certain people you should leave just the fuck alone. But instead of going along with the bullshit, this is like motherfuckers thought that they were mean girls, mean dudes of the group or the clique. But they also felt that nobody would know this shit or figure out about this type of shit. Because shit, at the same time, who is it? Elder and his wife, Olivia, because I used to always love to fuck with them. And then it's Jamal Love. Jamal was the one that actually put me on to keep that nigga on my radar. Like, you got a who person? He was like, yeah, I got a person that, fuck with the computers and shit like that. And I was like, oh, okay. You do? Uh-huh. And with that situation, that always stuck in the back of my goddamn head. And I would say, whoever is fucking connected to him, or he ended up getting the job. Because I want to say after I had picked him up, or it was something like he had a delay of a flight or whatever, conversing with him and shit like that. And I've literally had just got off the fucking highway from Tennessee getting to Florida. And I remember he called me. He was like, hey, I'm in town, whatever. Went to the store. I had to go pick up some stuff. And then I ended up dropping them back off to the airport because I was like, shit, I need to get back to the crib. I got to take a shower and stuff like that because I had, like, dropped the kids off. I needed to cook. And I remember my last conversation was I did a three-way call with Elder and Jamal, and they was talking about, damn, this girl over here with a fuck nigga and shit like that, because I still remember that shit. But it was like, y'all right, you know what I'm saying? I took accountability, and right after they brought that shit to my attention, that's when I had left. However, like on the back end of the situation, something told me that, like, I fuck with Elder, not like that, not nothing sexual like that. I fuck with him because something probably came off to that man's intuition, was like, hold up, something off. This is how I know something way bigger than what anybody paying attention to is being sparked. Something about the name Sparky. Somebody knows somebody that's into, like, not S6. Well, yeah, S6, and then people that work with comms, the computers, okay, cybersecurity. One of them was friends or a husband with one of the MPs. I can't remember that dude's name, but most of the times, Bobby had ties with like more of the MPs, the 11 Bravos and shit like that, the little Bang Bang crew. Now the thing of it is, one of them ended up was a military police, but then he switched over to working with computer cybersecurity. I remember one of them mentioned like three or four other females that they was showing something, and then another one that they had tied to the bank. Now the person who was tied to the bank, like I said, if I had to bank my money on somebody after we all got out, Bordeaux or Paramount was more likely to be able to work in the bank. Okay. Bordeaux and them, they was like, shit, but they ain't mentioned my name. It ain't about mentioning the fucking name. Shit, all we need to do is get that old roster. And somebody may have felt that they destroyed the record about that shit, but it ain't no destroy in it because these people had this bad habit of, oh, we're gonna do this card club, we're gonna do this. And most of the time, unbeknownst to them, them traveling and stuff. Now, Thompson, April Thompson. I don't know. I remember she ended up getting a job back in the government and then tried to stay like active guard. If not active guard, she ended up just getting like, a federal job, trying to get the GS job. So what she doing out there in Virginia or the DMV is something. So I want to say she got a good old position. Now, with that, something about some pushback, like, God damn, somebody was supposed to know all that or connect it back to this group. 563rd, somebody really felt that they was going to be able to keep this shit under wraps. And it was never under wraps. I keep having, I feel like it's like, I'm not fit to keep it fucking explain this shit. You know you in a part of this shit. You in the shit. It's going to open up some shit and then open up more can of worms because some of these people getting involved with it. Jenkins always had this fucking badass habit since he wanted to be Maserati, Super Sin or some shit like that. And it's like, yeah, I got ties to the Bloods and shit. Because, when motherfuckers want to be in the music industry, and it's like, well, shit, I want to make sure my credibility is this. And back at that time, that's when these motherfuckers would try to prove who was the better DJ, who made better beats. Shaquetta's first, her husband, who she was married to, who she supposed to have that first little boy from, this is Love with the light skin Love with the mole on his face. And he was working on doing beats. Espinosa, he was trying to work on beats. So that's how I know that they had, been able to work with each other to do something what they thought was undercover. So that's why when Angel Espinosa, when he reached back out to me via Facebook, and then we connected and was hanging out there in Puerto Rico and shit, I already knew, unbeknownst to him, that he was connected to some of the motherfuckers from 563rd. But I was just like, Sharita, just don't say nothing. Now, when that got on and discovered, that's when I caught on to, I'm going to say, the Gomez boy about his connection to the Sheridan, Wyoming folks. Unbeknownst to him, so Sheridan, Wyoming folks was the reason how I knew they were connected to Dr. Miranda. Now, this is where he got the game fucked up. It was like that lifestyle and them habits started kicking in the ass. And then it's like not paying attention to people's, like, if you supposed to be this major observer, you mean to tell me you couldn't observe when see a fucking crazy psycho bitch that's working for the police and all this other stuff, that they're covering this shit up for you and your crew, but it also was showing to prove racism. It was showing hate crimes, right? Because they was trying to make sure that they kept it in this particular community versus, hey, in order for this shit to work out, you actually gonna have to diversify this for the heat to be off of us. So somebody is about to realize the reason being why they're super honed in on this group, because I feel like they already got eyes on the other fucking people, but the reason being why, like, I feel like the veterans and the military motherfuckers feel like, oh, we got enough time to be able to scatter from this situation. But it's like, actually, truly, you don't. It's just like it's like the military and the veteran group, I'm going to say, basically the Fort Campbell crew, Fort Hood, El Paso, Fort Sam Houston, and San Diego crew, is make your next move. That's them, right? But the Spanish, the Brazilians, the Haitians, these motherfuckers right here, this shit gets real big. And I feel like that they, like, for somebody, like I said, it's gonna be a random drug test. Like, somebody ain't gonna have enough times to even drink anything. For somebody gonna get called because I'm seeing somebody going through a list of people. And it's like, who do I know in this group of people that it could be cybersecurity, police officers, sheriff department? It's like either a judge or something like that, where they do random drug tests and somebody is looking at them, going through the list of people of who they I feel like they did this like 2 weeks ago already. So how they was calling them in and how they was gonna do certain things, even these motherfuckers that's working at the hospital, doctors and stuff like that, they did this fucking shit like I'm hearing something about 52 weeks, so 52 weeks is like a year. But for somebody over the last 2 weeks or so, but over the last year and stuff like that, over the last 2 weeks or so, somebody is running through, who knows, people from the lab testing or core group, who knows, some RNs, doctors, who knows, people that are like chemistry or work with pharmacy or something like that. Somebody's going through a list of people who they're going to be randomly selected to do some shit. Those are the main ones. Those are going to be the ones that they're going to shut down. Somebody who work in cybersecurity, is about 5 or 6 of them, or work in a hair salon, beauty salon, barbershop, or something like that. They're under heavy fucking surveillance, because I'm seeing who coming in, who coming out. And the reason being, is leading them, this has led them to look at construction people, carpenters, roofers, cement groups, a hotel, of course, trucking companies, they're in garbage companies. It's causing them to look at that. And then it connected them to some pawn shops, metaphysical shops, and food trucks and restaurants, and something about like a gas station or something like that. Like, this is like paying somebody in a situation. Somebody could have been paying like some Arabic or Muslim people some extra type of funding. And it's like, I'm hearing, we can go ahead and forgive certain parts of your crime. However, you must allow us to do this. The moment that you give up or throw a hint to somebody that we're doing surveillance, they're going to be arrested and deported or something like that. And somebody just agreed, they complied. And whatever it is, somebody could be going certain places and stuff like that, or been somewhere and they got proof of it, because it's like somebody could be moving in a group, or they could be meeting up at particular restaurants, because it's like, well, we got such and such, and we could go to their restaurant and eat like this for free, or they give us, discounts about how we can eat over here, or we can go over here get our hair cut, or go get people to help, cover up this and that. Unbeknownst to them, somebody else took a higher bid or a bribe to go ahead and surveillance the area, the kitchen, cash registers, the front entrance, back entrance, and then you can't put it inside the bathroom, but you can put it towards who's coming in or coming out, right? And somebody is very like repetitive about certain shit, and whatever it is, somebody caught a conversation that somebody said that they did something to somebody, and they could have been trying to speak in their language, and somebody opened up like they got their own type of people, and then somebody was like, look, if I give you this type of thing or assistance, can I get more of something else, or could you help me in another case? And somebody was like, is it, it got to be valuable. Somebody watched this shit and heard what it was and got the honest, true translation. And when they got that, they was like, you know what? Somebody like got full, like either immunity or full like coverage or help in the situation. But how that shit gonna look is like people going in, they gonna let that shit, everybody gonna be dispersed, because one thing for sure, two things for certain, they don't ever put them all in the same jail cell, and they're not gonna ever allow them to go to the same areas for them to be able to communicate on this shit. And this shit is gonna happen for like 18 or fucking 40 days. And whatever it is, it's gonna cause people to either break, confess to some other people that they feel like, oh yeah, I know these people. Also, someone, damn, Alcatraz, there's a method to the madness. There's method to the madness. There's method to the madness. Because if you separate and divide motherfuckers, somebody gonna end up giving up eventually. Because somebody could be playing like they true to a situation and they really not. Because this is going somebody could do something in a science lab. Somebody could drive jeeps, fire departments, environmental, or something like that. Whatever this is, damn, it's a setup. It's a plot. Somebody is a bait for a situation. And I don't feel like this group see it coming because it's like, okay, well, it's something on lockdown, but they don't feel like it's on lockdown because they're allowing them to roam. Because it's like, oh, so they're gonna keep. Oh, okay, I know for a fact, 205 is a heavy surveillance. So the apartment next door and then the neighbors here in front of me, they're on heavy surveillance, whether they know it or not. Whoever the lesbian couple is, they just like, okay, they done took whatever it is that they already gave them. Now it's another group of people, something about the last name, Gable or something like that. But whoever it is, somebody also gave this group up too. And like I said, the Gracefield crew, Orlando Health crew, but 159 people, they own to these motherfuckers. But they also own to who were their initiates, who brought them in. Oh, somebody getting questioned. Because for me to sit there, who initiated you, who brought you in, who was the person superior to you to do what you do. And then this shit got to go all the way back to 2012. This shit got to go all the way back to 2012. And the stretch of this situation, this is really bad for a whole group of people. One of this situation is going all the way back to 2002. Because I want to say the book Zim dude, I met him around about between 2002, 2004. Because that's when they came out with like the one that y'all always hear, the so famous one before, I fly like planes, I fly like shit. Before she came out, and it's like the Arabic or the Indian like sound. That nigga, Danny Booksum, he did that shit. So like, yeah, the production and all that. This shit is fit to be bad for a lot of people. If somebody feel like that they got away with it, because it's like if you got away with it, I wouldn't be knowing how you've been doing it and how quote unquote elaborate it's supposed to have been. But the sad part about this situation, somebody's sister who's pregnant is the one who's telling on them. If it's not telling on them, it's like telling on a boyfriend or some shit. Cause somebody's siblings don't like somebody who they fucking with. Like currently, like they sleep with her. They go meet up. They be bringing them to the house or some shit. Like this shit be happening currently. And somebody was just like, I'm tired of this shit. Somebody went on ahead and just tried to play like they cool with somebody. And it was just like, shit, I'm finna turn this bitch in. Because somebody did something to somebody's phone. Either their phone or at a place where they go. Because you know how like some people be like, yeah, girl, go to this therapist. I be talking to them. And it's something that somebody said to one of these people who played like either a school teacher, a director, a pharmacist or something like that. And whoever it was that they was talking to, somebody said something like either unconsciously not knowing that they was saying this shit. And I'm seeing somebody saying, ain't no way this bitch did this. And it's like they could be like if this is Orlando, somebody is tied to Oak Ridge, and whatever somebody told somebody about Oak Ridge, or they live on the east side of town, Alafaya, Dean Road, all that area, Curry Ford, Cimarron, University and shit like that. Somebody fit to get the biggest like get back, because whoever the one of the females is, because it's like they telling on somebody, and whatever this shit is, it's leading to somebody gonna be found in the fucking dumpster. Somebody about to be found in the dumpster. And they gonna make this shit look like somebody got like beat up by something like a dog or some shit like that. Like somebody got like a fucking pit bull or a cane corso or some shit like that. Cause whatever the fuck this is, I'm seeing somebody look back like, oh, so that's who did that. And I was paying them a pretty penny to go ahead and make sure they cover. Somebody's supposed to be covering some tracks, and they didn't do that because they took some shit personal. Because it's like damn, whoever somebody did or they was over here fucking with, and like, yeah, like these are some motherfuckers. They don't give a fuck if it's your family, your kids, you pregnant. They don't give a fuck about none of that. Whoever these people are, they don't give a fuck about none of that. They will blow your shit on the spot. And somebody found out that somebody intentionally was trying to set this up to get the heat off of them and making this part of the group to take the fall of it. And the damn, somebody gonna have no choice but to give up either like their sister, because this is females. Somebody ain't gonna have no choice but to give up these motherfucking females just to get out this shit. But because they are the cause of it, they are the. This is like somebody that could be trying to play like they on the dark side, but the heat got so fucking hot in the situation because they're tied in. This is like being tied in. Imagine you dating somebody, you trying to help them out, but you end up figuring out who they other fucking connects is, and you realize how deep that shit went. And it's like, ooh, but shit, the money they get, it's a little bit better, and it looks like they got better connections for this shit. And whatever the fuck this bitch got a bright idea, cause she got about 20 fucking people working with her. And whatever the fuck it is, and instead of sitting there telling whoever the fuck she dating, she went on ahead and took it upon her own self, feeling like she got her own little crew or army. I feel like this bitch is about to get a whole bunch of bitches killed. Or missing. Shit. You can't talk and you there. You can't sit there and just keep trying to carry out this shit. Because this is like getting people. This is where I was saying with that warning where this is a bitch that's sitting there and these oppositions actually can come together because whatever the fuck they can find out. Because I'm getting somebody feeling like they playing two dudes against each other, but it's no real fucking use to it because it's like, yeah, I'm telling you about this, and then I'm gonna tell you about this, but the third person, you ain't gonna be knowing who the third person is because I'm gonna try to conceal that, but it ain't no concealing because I feel like whoever these is. Somebody name could be Consuelos, some shit like that. But whatever the fuck this is, somebody, if they pull themselves back in the background, you fit to see how the fuck this go. Cause it's like, yeah, girl, we gonna meet such and such. Somebody got either a hair salon, somebody worked for a trash company, trucking company, something about a club or a bar or something like that, or a massage parlor or something like that. But whatever it is, they could be meeting up at somebody's office, classroom, because I'm getting like, or school or something like that, because school starts next month or something like that, and somebody be like, yeah, girl, I'll come over there, we just gonna have lunch or something like that, and I'm come talk to you, because they're the ones who connected them to go ahead and go talk to a quote unquote therapist, but the therapist is the one trying to school them on what type of medicines and stuff like that, or somebody could be a pharmacist. But whatever the fuck this situation is, they plotting to try to either kill these dudes or get these dudes to kill each other so they don't have to, so they can cover what it is that they did and what nobody recover what it was that they had going on. Somebody low key could have, like, somebody could be like dispatched for the police, do the admin paperwork for the police or the courthouse. Somebody could also do something with cybersecurity, but the all fall of the situation for them to get out of this shit, they needed these dudes to go against each other. Somebody is also could do something with immigration or homelessness, but whoever these bitches are, they was plotting against these dudes, because I'm seeing them leave all the dudes outside and they go inside and be like, shit, because I'm seeing them huddle up like, do you think they gonna catch up to any of this shit? Do you feel like they're gonna do this? But unbeknownst to them, while they sitting there, it's about three of them plotting on two of the fucking females already on the inside. But it's getting more or less that the pregnant chick was the one setting up two to three of these other fucking females. But it's mainly two of them trying to plot on somebody. But unbeknownst to them, this shit is going in bad. But it's like somebody, they sit back by 10 p.m. Somebody's intuition is gonna go up, and it's gonna be something that somebody do, say, or how they fucking move. Is either somebody gonna be super nice, super questioning, or not questioning enough, or it's gonna be either They running late, or they gonna be talking about, oh, I'm going to the church, oh, I'm going to meet up with such and such, and somebody's gonna know that they relationship ain't really like that. But it's like, why would you be meeting up with somebody like this? But it's like somebody like, oh, okay, no problem, not thinking, thinking nothing of it, because I'm either thinking that they about to take the kids with them, the dog, or something like that. But it's some fucking females, and whatever the fuck they gonna do, somebody, your intuition is actually fucking accurate. But at the same time, on top of this, these motherfuckers who's part of the VA, Veterans Affairs and shit like that, because on the federal aspect, that's why I said it's turned into a hate crime. This is also going to be a federal thing, because they've been having their eye on the LGBT community and shit like that. So it's a whole bunch of group of transsexuals, gays, and lesbians that they're going to be looking into. But this is also somebody that they're looking into from Fort Campbell, Louisville, Kentucky, Fort Sam Houston, so San Antonio, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, and Killeen, Texas. That's a heavy fucking look. But some of these people are in either Sacramento, San Diego, or Southern California. Somebody is over there, which is connecting them to the people in Nevada. And somebody don't realize, because the Nevada shit like that is connecting them to an Amazon, it's connecting them to a trucking business, it's connecting them to a garbage company, and it's connecting them to some foreign people, which is also connecting them to the music industry. Somebody, if they didn't choose to cut ties, or they didn't cut ties within the last 2 days, they're gonna get caught up in this fucking investigation in the worst way. But also, it's like, it's a major pry into this real estate group of people, due to the simple fact, because somebody keep doing something with a credit card, a bank account, but it's tied to a military person, a veteran, and somebody that they already killed a while ago. I'm getting between 2017 and 2023. Somebody who passed on is connecting them to it, because somebody could either be using a key code, a barcode, or a password that is connecting them to these group of people. And with them being connected to these people, it's actually like leading into them looking into the bank situation, which is like, you got Regents Bank. What is Fort Campbell's credit union? I want to say one of Fort Campbell's credit unions is actually tied to the McCoy credit union, because I want to say that they have one like that in Fort Sill or something like that. But it's going to lead to USAA Bank, Navy Federal Credit Union, Penn State, Penn Credit Union. Is going to also lead to, what was the SunTrust? SunTrust, I want to say they turned it to Truist or Region. Region Bank was one of the major banks that people use from the hospitals. So that's going to lead to Chase and Bank of America. Those right there, or JP Chase Morgan, Chase Bank, right? Bank of America, those are going to be the major start of people pulling up particular veterans bank statements. Then they're going to also be pulling from cyber IT phone companies. Spectrum is a major one, AT&T, especially if they got AT&T Verse. There is going to cause them to look at, of course, Spectrum, Charters Communications, so anything with ties to Charter Communications, which is leading to news stations and then other things. But it's also a dispatch unit for something about deliveries or drop off, or somebody like they looking into people who also took out PPP loans. Metro West is already read by the federal government, so Metro West is already considered an open public probe. So meaning it's already free game. So any person that ever fucking purchased, like say for instance, somebody be like, oh, I need to get me a phone, and they go straight to go purchase Metro PCS, you're already on police radar. It doesn't matter what you do, what type of things, because the only difference is with Metro PCS, there's a chance that the name and the social security is a reuse type of thing. But the more often than not, they're tracking about the communications, who they're calling and who they're texting. More often than not, it'll be people that are with immigration or coming in because they're here on the migrant type thing. So there it's easier to track them. So they already be onto those people's crimes. But the people that are not too familiar with that part of it, they just gonna be like, well, shit, go get you a Metro PCS, go get you a Boost Mobile, go get you a Cricket phone. Those three are ultimate setups and traps, especially when it comes to federal crimes. They know more or less when it comes to it, they'll either probe into it or they'll push away to it. Now with them opening up Alcatraz, they watching anybody who's getting now the new thing that they dropped was Mint Mobile. So Mint Mobile, Metro PCS, Cricket, Boost Mobile, and Verizon's prepaid lines. Verizon prepaid, you don't need a search warrant. With Verizon, if you go ahead and get Verizon, because you got to use the Social Security, and they have certain measures that you have, unless you operating it from a business company, you don't need a warrant. But if it's operated from a business company or corporation, is either a corporation, business account, sole proprietorship or something like that, you need a warrant. Now, if it's them using it based off of their Social Security and it's not particular jobs that they have, then you don't need a warrant. But if you have particular jobs, then you need a warrant. Now, these are people that thought that, oh, well, we could use this because we don't need a warrant. They're going to need a warrant before they can see this. And we got about 2 to 3 months before they do certain things. But unbeknownst to them, there's also loopholes to a lot of the situations. Prepaid, using particular Social Security. Now, the thing of it is, if they see that Social Security is already used in a different cell phone company, you don't have to be concerned about a warrant, because it's like, well, if their Social Security is already showing up in AT&T and it's showing up in T-Mobile, why is it now showing up in Verizon, but they don't have an LLC or they don't have a company? And then they can go back and look and see if that person's LLC is currently active, and then they're going to go back and see how does those LLC were paid for. And if it's not showing that it's paid from the person itself, so that means that person is going to be under pure investigation for however long. Once they see that that came up in the system, they're going to pay attention to that person, like their actual debit card, their phone. So meaning the phone is already watched. So most of the time while it's watched, they're watching who's going to hack the phone, who's going to mirror the phone, where they're doing it from, if it's a police officer, if it's local, if it's sheriff, like things like that, because the people are not going to be known to know that it's being hacked. Because when it's on a higher federal level, but once your cell phone or your Social Security already hit to 3 other type of locations, it's already going to be looked into. My situation will be where this whole situation worked in my benefit was when Adrian's dad had opened up a falsified thing, and I already had them investigate this in 2011. So they've been monitoring my bank account, my Social Security, and all that information since 2011, because he tried to open things up with cell phone companies. So meaning any type of cell phone that I had purchased from 2011 up to current, they were going to watch it to see if other people were trying to use those things or try to, like use my Social Security, hack into the phone. Also, in 2021, I had got a LifeLock on the back of my taxes. So anybody that had used anything towards my Social Security, banking, all that stuff, my children's stuff, it was going to spark for it because I paid for like the highest thing. So whenever something goes on, it'll go to the federal investigation versus the state. And these people didn't know that. So when they did this would have led to anybody doing any type of fraud. That's how that stuff falls into. Because with that is like a Trojan. So they're going to watch like your emails. They're going to watch your phone calls. They're going to watch what type of, cell phone companies you purchase. But the major ones that's already federal, whether people know it or not, and that's why it's always been like a government trap, whether people knew that, like, yeah, we can hook you up with free phones. And then they'll bait some of these people in because they know they hard off on money with the gift cards and stuff like that. So this is the bait of the situation. If I could convince you to be like, yeah, I'm going to give you $1,500 on this gift card to do this, the bait of the situation is, you're already on the federal list. You're already going to be the person to take the hit. So when everything blows up, these are the people who are going to be the first ones to get locked up. Because it's like,
So you're gonna go try to tell because somebody offered you a free phone. So like if they go try to go get a lawyer or something like that, right now somebody will deal with the lawyer sitting there saying, "So you coming to get me to run a case for you because they offered you a free phone," and of course it's going to make them look crazy because, well, the person was a police officer, and I'm getting somebody. So you trusted a police officer to tell you where to go get this phone from? These people are going to literally play with these people's heads to a point to make them believe like, yeah, they told us that this was going to. So I'm hearing, so you're telling me that they told you that this was going to be a use for you, and unbeknownst to them, Metro PCS. Where did I have Ayana? 2007. So 2011 is when 2010 or 2011 is when it went to full blown effect on how to keep track of certain immigrants and certain crimes. I don't feel like a lot of people know that. Not even, and I feel like they'll speak on it, but it's like it's no difference than when you get like certain contracts and you don't read the fine print. Like certain police officers, you know how people be so eager and so desperate whenever they get out the academy or when they get into certain things that they don't pay attention to like the rules, so they easily get caught up in the corruption. But unbeknownst to them, if they paid attention to the fine print would tell you about certain phone companies that you should not be getting in, or certain phones that you shouldn't get, because they'll fall into those situations where risk assessment. Now, at any given day or a given time, risk assessments are meant to be ran. And these are people that didn't pay attention to a risk assessment having to be ran, or somebody is going to get an unsuspected one ran and they didn't see it coming. Because guess what? When it's time for the government to go ahead and they ain't to take the fall for this shit, the first people to take it is the local police and then the sheriff. So if the sheriff department don't want to take it, they're going to make sure that the local police people take it. And then if the local police got involved with other people in the community, they're the first ones, they're the first line of action to take the fall for this shit. They've been working on this shit for like since 2010. They took full effect in 2020. So now this is the rerun of them looking through anybody who got the PPP loan. So right now, anybody involved with PPP loans, making beats, military and things like that, and they got particular jobs, like I said, if they're a police officer and they know the difference that they were like in the military and they became police officers, and it's the issues of the police officers who went to college, got the degree, and then got the job, and then those who busted their butt to become a cop. Those three is where it's the issues coming, but it's two of them trying to take out one. And somebody's about to see this shit coming, because more often than not, if they're a veteran or something like that, military, or they have that experience, you're gonna catch it more. You can probably catch it quicker or catch on to it. If you gotta, I'm here, you gotta be quicker than that. If they quick and smart, they gonna realize that somebody is going to try to take them down. But however, the benefit of their situation is that they have government and federal backing in certain situations. But with them not really, knowing, because a person that got the degree, more often than not, they don't have certain other life experiences. And then, of course, they got to go through like psyche valves and stuff like that. But more often than not, they're not really like concerned about how they live, where they come from. But with this type of probe going on, now the question of certain situations, they're going to have to really look into it. Like there's a female police officer, somebody could be Pisces, Taurus, or Gemini. They're not realizing what the fuck coming to them. They were very passionate about covering something, and then adamant about getting other fucking, somebody's name is Adam, or Adamsons, or Addisons, Allison or something like that. And whatever, or Nicole, Nikki, or whatever. Whoever this is going to lead to a whole, like, I'm seeing somebody like, ain't no fucking way that there's no way. I'm getting like somebody like, no way, but something about somebody's going to end up losing a relative or some family, like 5 people all at once. 5 to 10 people all at once. And I don't know if that, like, this is that situation where I'm saying somebody going to receive a phone call and like say that a situation, it's the truth, where it's like they get the phone call and they're not going to make it there in time. Like if they had to book a flight or something like that, a red eye or something like that, or they're not going to be able to like to afford it, because I'm getting something that's going to be like $2,000 to $5,000 for them to like catch like a flight. Like that's like running to the airport. Like, can I get on the flight? And it's like $2,000, $5,000. Somebody born in '95, but whatever this is, once I'm getting like somebody gonna do that, it's probably gonna happen on Wednesday. But whatever it is, once somebody get over there, they're not coming back. And somebody gonna be like, what you mean? Somebody gonna leave, they gotta be somewhere to go see something. Somebody's not making it back. Cause somebody is gonna be there and they're gonna be asking particular questions, and it's gonna catch somebody off guard. And whatever is gonna catch somebody off guard, they ain't coming back. I don't know if somebody is from a third world country, or something like that, or these were people that came into the country and did something, but somebody finding out the truth, that who the shit that I'm talking about is the truth. There's no mixing it. I might not be touching it or talking about everything, because somebody keep on, oh, it's only not, no, motherfucker, I'm 100% fucking accurate. Don't put some motherfucking respect on my shit, motherfucker. Sit your bitch ass the fuck down just because I'm not mentioning. Like we could do this spell for you, Mike the Emperor. Y'all gotta be motherfucking correct. Please be politically correct. Respect my motherfucking conglomerate and respect my shit. But motherfucker, at the same time, y'all gotta be real fucking careful about this shit, because somebody is going to have to leave country to go somewhere, and somebody is not coming back. But with somebody not coming back, that's going to crack open a whole big ass motherfucking investigation on a level. Because I'm getting, once somebody flies somewhere or a group of people fly somewhere, because I'm getting, it's like a funeral. It's a funeral. If it's not a funeral, somebody is going to be literally in hospital or hospice. Okay. For somebody, it's a funeral of 4, but it's like one in particularly a very big thing. And whatever it is, this shit right here leads to a lot of other fucking people getting caught up. Because somebody keep trying to do this mirror like, well, you know it's for you, right? You realize it's for you, right? You right, I already know what's up with me, but shit. Intelligence will say, common sense will fucking say, you got to play it safe. You got to know which way they coming, right? Necromancy only fucking work whenever you know that it's not there. You see? And somebody been doing that shit for a long time. Someone been trying to keep some shit under wraps as if somebody wasn't going to be able to see them. This Taurus, this damn Leo, and this Virgo. They may have felt that somebody wasn't going to do this because something that they did February 13th or planned around that time. Somebody did something whose birthday is November 2nd or the 6th or the 8th or the 9th. They don't realize that somebody already know what's up with that. But the thing of it is, it's really them. Because somebody coming in and somebody's like, yeah, when they come in, we're going to be able to hit them. But the hit is actually on you, Bo. Somebody's name is Bo. Somebody could have a boa constrictor or some shit like that. Somebody's birthday is in November. Somebody, something about a boa. Shit, James ass, that boy killed that damn dog, Alcoa. Oh, so the motherfuckers from Whitfield, somebody could have caught on to something. Okay, those the white boys that stayed there, somebody found out the information about them. Somebody is telling that shit. Somebody finally speaking up about a lot of shit in this situation. I feel like if y'all was any fucking people that was listening to them, Regina and James Henry and Jasmine, that shit is turning out real fucking bad. These were Fort Campbell. So the people and them names that I'm mentioning, they were around that same time. Janelle Hernandez, that is just like shit. I wasn't surprised about her because shit, how she was moving when she first got there to Fort Campbell. It's like shit. It makes sense because she had that pretty ass baby from that black dude. Because I want to say she Ecuadorian, Salvadorian or some shit like that. Like I'm not fucking surprised by that, but it's like at the same time, like, do y'all realize who y'all was getting in bed with? This is like motherfuckers sitting here looking at me like, so are you the devil? Are you a demon or some shit? I don't know. You just pick and choose your fucking poison, but this is one of them situations you gotta always fucking be careful about who you fucking with. Cause me shit, my quietness is do what you please. However, when this shit pop off, don't come back running to me talking about, girl, let's talk, let's go have something to eat and drink. No, I'm not interested. Cause this shit is real fucking sticky, and I ain't tempted to reconnect with nothing. If they wasn't here, they ain't been here in all these motherfucking months. Why the fuck I'm gonna be concerned? I already know how this shit gonna plan out. And these are people like, oh, why you don't have a reaction or a response to it? Cause when I was screaming about it, wasn't nobody doing shit about it. But y'all quick to be, ooh. But instead, oh, I'm a parent. I'm a parent. I could be like your kids and let somebody come in. I had to go do a quick response, but you can't do a quick response to say, well, shit, at least I did work with the girl. Well, at least I can go ride around and go see if I see something off or something like that. You mean to tell me y'all don't know when something's off with some motherfucking kids? That shit right there. But this is where you gonna learn the hard fucking valuable fucking lesson. When somebody sit there and they're asking you certain shit, these saying certain things and you don't look into it, but you quick to try to look into their life. Imagine what that shit looked like when that backfire hit. This was also motherfuckers that they had people convinced that if you make a situation so detrimental, like my folks had this bad habit to make these people believe like if you cause her to feel like she's in a dire situation, she gonna be calling and blowing down your phone and she gonna be running back to you. Like they used to have these dudes like thinking that like I was so desperate for them, but it was like, no motherfucker, I'm actually just trying to make some shit work. And really unbeknownst to you, the motherfuckers that you taking the advice from, these will be a reason why your life is gonna be done at the end, because they're using you as to keep the real on it and trying to keep chains on the motherfucker because they need something from me, and them using you is the way to get to me. And then once they lose the control over y'all, they know they don't got access to me, and them knowing that they don't have access to me, then they gonna start doing messy shit to y'all, because it's gonna be like, well, what happened and what's this and what's that, right? But then it's also at the same time when they know the feds is catching on to them, they gonna flip y'all. They not gonna take the fall about how they gave you advice on what to do to somebody and how to control their life. It was never a fucking about control tactic. But in this situation, this is like somebody not realizing. At the same time, it's just like, as you sit here watching, you wasn't paying attention to your surroundings. And that's the beauty of that whole situation. It's like, you too busy to worry about what the fuck I'm doing, that you're not paying attention to what's coming to you. And then when they sit there and like, yeah, I can convince them. And if I keep making them feel stressed out, you're not going to ever make me feel stressed out. If anything, it's just paying attention to who's coming my way. Not about what you're doing. I already know what you're doing. And I know what it's for. But who you sending? The why is already answered. The why, what for, that's already answered. Who are you sending is the question. And once you know the who, the rest of the shit gonna make complete sense. Pattern recognition, behaviors, and the shit that they gonna do. Now, when the shit get ready to blow up, that right there is gonna be enough for you to know whenever this shit get ready to hit, because the sting is eventually, like in my situation, the sting is not too fucking far behind. Why? Because history tends to repeat itself. History tends to repeat itself. So the sting is not too fucking far behind. I'm 100% sure that anybody that, if they've been doing shit with, quote unquote, these people talk about their family or relatives, I guarantee these motherfuckers scattering. They probably not answering the phone. Or they sitting there like, oh, listen to this, and you can't listen to them, you can't do this, but y'all getting phone calls or people showing up to your house, people riding around and shit like that. History tends to repeat itself. Yeah, all you gotta do is make her feel like she's stressed and make sure she feeling like she losing this. And every time she loses this, she gonna be like, oh my gosh, where my friends at? Oh, wait, I need this person back. I need him. Can you please come back and help me with this? Oh my gosh, please. You said you love me. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. I had to let that shit go a long time ago. 2018 showed me everything I needed to know. Christmas Eve 2018. And every day I fucking regret, like, nigga, I should have did what the fuck I was planning to do that day right before your mama came, and I should have did her ass in right after. But instead, I let that shit go. Because the shit that this motherfucker doing, the thing of it is, the worst part that these fucking motherfuckers could have did Y'all made sure that y'all were the prominent people, which was the beauty for these motherfuckers to get away with the shit that they were doing. So you Portuguese, you from Spain, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, Colombian, they knew they was gonna let y'all asses take the fall. They've been waiting for this moment for over like for these other motherfuckers, they've been waiting to set some motherfuckers up over 30 plus years. If you were smart, you would have paid attention. They just knew like these niggas greedy for the money. Shit, they trying to traffic that shit in the kids and shit like that. And to them, shit is a benefit. They can fuck on kids again. They can get their guns again. They getting it from y'all niggas, right? And they've been knowing this shit for years. Something about that shit that happened back in 91, 92, 94, and 96. Patrick and all of them been in the game that motherfucker long. Lisa, Michelle, and shit. Michelle left back around 98 and then went to Mississippi and been hiding out ever since then. Michelle went to Mississippi and been hiding out since then. So when that shit popped off in 98, she been trying to keep low key out of the fucking, the light and out the way so nobody would know that they have been plotting on this shit to get back at these motherfuckers, these so-called other kingpins and shit like that. They've been plotting for y'all motherfucking positions ever since then. We got to get them. We got to get our real motherfuckers on the map, because we real Native American black motherfuckers, we share blood DNA with the Mexicans and shit like that. They didn't give a fuck about that. They gave a fuck about making sure they took y'all drugs, y'all money, y'all trafficking shit so they could be in fucking position. So they knew that eventually how y'all been moving, they've been watching that shit over the years, but instead of Sharita being with the person that she meant to be with, we gonna keep making sure they doing this, but we gonna give them position, we gonna give them money. And when I figure out how this shit is, right, that's the same shit where Kiara came in, she started fucking with John Sebastian Martinez. Your cousin got fucking shot up and killed, unbeknownst to you, Kiara and her fucking folks. And she was gonna make sure that y'all had beef with China and shit like that. That boy China, they was gonna use that shit as a motherfucking benefit. And they been using y'all niggas as a puppet since then. They knew how to drag Maria in. Maria got controlled over her baby daddy. And that your niece ended up getting taken. That shit ain't no motherfucking coincidence. Somebody need to know how the fuck this shit ran. And then y'all sat here and made that shit like, oh, we gonna make ties with these motherfuckers. This is the worst time. History tends to repeat itself. The crazy bitch is the one who hitting y'all with motherfucking facts because somebody's sitting there looking at their goddamn phone like, hold up. Wait a minute. Such and such is coming over here. Some of these motherfuckers working at the police department. Are you working under the control of the Demings? Was the Demings helping you meet up with Santiago? Did they help you meet with Osceola County's fucking people, right? It wasn't for no motherfucking coincidence. Stupid. Somebody is so fucking goofy because the shit, reason being why is she laughing about this? Why is she happy about this? Because every time you make a move, everybody get caught, right? History tends to repeat itself. These black motherfuckers been gunning for a position to be able to get up, and somebody on the low end was an opposition to them, whether y'all knew it or not, and they wasn't gonna tell the crew about this shit because somebody was fucking on somebody in this crew that nobody was supposed to know about. It's about to come to the surface. History tends to repeat itself. So if they had to go ahead and let the military motherfuckers take the fall for it, they were, because it's like, well, shit, they was the one playing my ventriloquist in this shit. And unbeknownst to them, I was gonna help such and such get her lick back from when we was over there in Hoptown. And I was going to make sure all my Hawkinsville bitches, they was going to get their lick back. All them times them niggas did that shit to us when we was in Fort Campbell. And how Bobby and them was doing us. How Ray did me. Shit, she been gunning. Derek Ray, whether you know it or not, Sheila been gunning for your ass ever since you made her ass feel so fucking loaded in at the hotel when you told her, hey, you got to go. It's time to check out. She been planning her motherfucking vindictive ass fucking revenge on your ass since then. Somebody needed to know. Somebody, if she connected back to you from way back in the day and she used Michelle to do it, that she went on ahead and convinced Patrick to go ahead and get Michelle to do it because Patrick needed Michelle to get out the way because the bitch he married to, he been trying to kill her ass like he did Kim. That shit makes logical sense to me. It made logical sense to me, but the beauty of it is they knew the last nigga was so fucking greedy because it's like, well, shit, if he gonna take the money to be quiet, I know he can go ahead and get other motherfuckers to do this shit. Because if he did that shit in Puerto Rico and she got in a panic, and of course they were watching, and if the nigga knew it was smart enough with the rest of their crew, if you were smart enough and you knew that they were actually watching my page on the low, they wasn't watching me. They was just trying to see if you gonna keep coming back in that situation, and they were going to pay attention not to you, who were the people you put on, and they were paying attention to their movement. So anybody that came out of Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, they was watching y'all motherfucking move. Oh, they got the Airbnb. Okay, so now we know how the Dominicans move, because somebody, unbeknownst to you, Puerto Rico think Dominicans are dumb as fuck. Puerto Ricans, like when I was in Puerto Rico, even the fucking Dominicans that are there, they felt like Dominicans were the dumbest ones. So when the shit was going flat, they was going to make sure that to do that. Somebody's name is Fala. So with that shit, they knew that y'all was going to be so thirsty because about the money that they was offering. And then this is where I kept saying, I was like, shit, if they was really fucking smart and you was really not wanting to get caught in this shit, because y'all fit to take the hit for this. There's a method to the madness. Alcatraz is not for a fucking reason. Somebody got way bigger connects than what they was going to tell y'all niggas, though. They wasn't going to tell you, but they also knew that they were an easy target, because a lot of people, starting to learn Spanish, but if you don't know the Spanish and where it come from, it's going to fuck you up. Real motherfucking Spanish motherfuckers know Spain don't fuck with all the rest of the other fucking Spanish motherfuckers. Shit, you go to fucking Spain and you talk how you speak in Mexico, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, they gonna call you ghetto. They gonna call you ghetto as fuck. They don't fuck with you like that. And then it's like, oh, we mixed La India. What was her what's her name? Evie Queen. She fucked it up for everybody. Latinos don't twerk. Bitch, if you don't take your botch body looking goofy ass, like you took that shit to the extreme. Like that shit ain't even pretty no more. Like she was so fucking pretty in her fucking natural state. It was just like, oh, you went on ahead and got involved in this shit, right? Of course, they're gonna watch the lower of the lowest about their fucking concerts, right? That shit in the Dominican Republic, it was not by fucking coincidence at all. It was not by coincidence. That Dominican guy that passed on, his death was not by coincidence at all. Like, what caused that the stage to collapse like that? Somebody already knew that shit was going to collapse. It wasn't by coincidence. I'm 100% sure if somebody go back to that man's like banking and stuff like that, I guarantee he's tied into some resorts, some real estate, another music company that I won't disclose, and he probably had another background affair going on with. It was not told. He also had ties to the feds. Now, the thing of that situation is, certain shit that you just don't fucking do it. Certain people you just don't get in bed with. All money ain't good money. And the money that you went on ahead and took, certain fucking people you don't get in bed with. Of course, yeah. Yeah, we go to the same church, of course. God bless you. Yeah, we're going to go ahead. You know what? I got some extra money. I'm going to fly into your church. Of course, any church that's starting up, right? And you want to be like, oh, Cristiano, hey, for all my English speakers, come in. We got a major minister or pastor coming in from TBN or whatever, because it's going to give your church the recognition, right? No, stupid. It's for your ass to be on the radar so they can take the heat off of them. But the beauty of it again, Spanish motherfuckers, anybody that came from any type of Latin fucking community, Brazil, Portugal, Mexico, whatever, y'all was the hit. Y'all were the ones to take the fucking hit for this. Why? Because when you came for me so big, you would have had a better chance to mix that shit up. But instead, it's a black girl and there's a whole bunch of Spanish people. Every time she turn around, she call and make it, why is it a Spanish motherfucker? Damn, why is it that it's this? And then the black motherfuckers came back in and they needed that because some of them was like, hold on, let me just reel back just a tiny little bit, right? But the craziest thing, Patel, which he was from India, Perez and everybody else, they were from fucking Spanish countries. When I went to UCF, Lake Nona, Spanish motherfuckers. When it came to me going ahead and trying to do my paperwork and go to the VA, Spanish motherfuckers, right? But the only person that was falling to the background, the social worker, it's rare that you're going to get a black social worker, right? The black social worker, you will hope that, hey, they can relate. But it's certain things that their things can do. She's part of a sorority, and she part of her people's lodge, too, which they already had connected that shit. But the lodge that Dupree was a part of, unbeknownst to her stupid ass, her fucking lodge crew got beef with another one. Okay? Y'all didn't know that part. The thing of it is, when it came to Kendra, I love Kendra. She was a great instructor, but hey, you got in bed with the wrong shit. Oh, your dad is that DJ? I remember him from a long time ago, but I wasn't gonna say shit. But I was like, damn, you did the wrong thing because you're tied to Don Andra and then the other Haitian lady that worked at the hospital. See, so when all this shit was going down, I was like, this shit fit the end bad. And every time that I was making my business to go talk to Dr. Eileen Diaz, it's like, are you sure? Anytime I ever ask somebody, if I ask you more than 3 times, are you sure? And by the time I sit there and say, okay, most of the time they'd be like, oh, she submitted. She has no idea. No, bitch, I caught on a long time ago. But I'm not going to go ahead and invoke you to feel like I know what's going on. Outside the fact that you can come here. Like I used to tell them, don't pay attention to that YouTube. Of course they weren't going to pay attention to it. But now they are. Do I got your full motherfucking attention? I guarantee I got a lot of motherfuckers full attention. The same thing where I was sitting there telling Otis Thomas, you doing this shit for Tasha? Tasha fucking on Carla. They gonna look out for each other for a long ass time. They've been looking out for each other since 98 in Loughton. That's the reason why Shane go hard for it, because shit, that nigga been having a threesome for a long ass time. Carla just missed particular signs of how Shane and his folks was gonna turn her ass in the end. He was just trying to figure out what side of the fence Deshaun was gonna be on. Fuck Courtney, fuck Kiera. He was just trying to figure out what side was Deshaun going to choose? That's why, Shane been calling Mamie lately, trying to call Aunt Mary and the Franklins and shit like that, trying to get Sean to come out there to Graceville and shit. He just trying to figure out where his son is sitting at before everybody get ready to boom. It's history tends to repeat itself. Certain people you just don't fuck with. Me, I just fade in the background because I already know how that shit gonna play out. Oh, you was about to go. Oh, okay. I remember telling that nigga, oh, you know this is how they fit to set your stupid ass up, right? Have you told your mama yet? No, you ain't telling your mama. So when I was hitting up Marie Hicks, I was trying to warn you, shouty. That nigga better fucking figure that shit out real quick, because that shit could cost y'all life. And the thing of it is, they gonna keep this nigga alive to make his ass suffer and make sure that he watch every single last one of them that he's swearing up that he love. They finna take that shit out right there in front of him. It's like, shit, if he going hard for that dick, they gonna kill all the dick that he loves. Nigga, you ain't got the picture yet? All right, I'm gonna lock your ass up, because you know when you locked up with us, you are our number one bitch. So we know we can get our dick sucked and you can get fucked, right? When your ass locked up either in Seminole, Osceola, or Orange County, we know how that goes. Or if your ass come back up here to fucking Philly or New York City, we already know what we can do with you, my boy. Yeah, I got you held down over here in Virginia. If you come out here, or we got you in the Bay Area, we got you. Like, nigga, you their number one bitch. Oh, you don't know how this shit go? Let me tell you how this shit go. I ain't from fucking Chicago, but you would swear up and down all my motherfucking Chicago ass fucking pimp. Anybody that knew Chicago had the worst fucking pimps that you did not ever want to get your ass involved in. Chicago vice lords, that's some shit that you don't want to get yourself involved in. Why else do you think there's somewhat type of hesitant to get Chicago artists? Chance the Rapper was very innocent to do that. Toby Lou, Chief Keef, he had to fall in the background because the shit got a little sticky. Oh, we can get the Kansas people. Yes, that's easy. Texas ain't going too hard because shit, motherfuckers, you gonna bring to the forefront that it's okay to be on cocaine. Like, yeah, you got a great ass song. However, you just open up a whole federal investigation So how are you getting the drugs? Or were they planted there for a reason? You see? See how history tends to repeat itself? If I can keep a nigga drugged up, keep your ass on all the cocaine in the fucking world, and keep you alcohol and drunk and shit like that on that lean, how often can I get your ass to come in here and confess to certain shit? Oh yeah, you got cybersecurity motherfuckers? Oh, it's usually the bitches. They want to go hard for their nigga. Oh, ain't nobody gonna be sitting there, suspecting us as the women doing this shit on the computer. They ain't gonna suspect us doing this shit, at the pharmacy. They ain't gonna suspect us to do this shit. Veronica would have swear that her ass was on either fucking Empire or 56 Little Show. She would swear up and down that her ass is the goddamn Tyreek. Oh, well, my sorority sister, your sorority sisters didn't like your ass then. They still don't like your ass now. Shit, it's certain people ready to go ahead and beat your motherfucking ass once they realize what the fuck you been doing on the background. You see? Where somebody's innocence is no longer really fucking innocence. That's why I'm sitting there like, Tanya, you really let you let her be the godparent of your kids? Shit, I almost did, and that shit didn't work out. And it didn't work out for a fucking reason why that bitch, but shit, she felt that her going ahead and fucking on James Henry Taylor, he don't like women, he want to be a woman. Oh, he was gonna set their asses up real quick. You mean to tell me you don't know a fucking predator when you see one? Shit, baby. You know a crackhead when you see it. You know a bitch that got certain urges when you see it. I sensed it on that bitch. I know when a bitch is going to touch on a little girl or do some weird shit to a little girl. And that bitch been touching on my youngest baby girl, Azura. She did the same shit to fucking Ayana and Adrian. That bitch is weird. Regina Taylor, to be precise. Oh yeah, when his dad was alive and stuff like that, and then that Jasmine girl or whatever that do the real estate for Keller Williams, and then I think she switched over to Remax, and all of a sudden I met the dude Kevin Toon, which they all fucking involved, and they were all part of the same Mason Lodge and all part of the fucking military crew. Shit, make that shit make logical sense. That's why I was looking at Brittany Tyus. You got in bed with this? That's why I'm sitting there like, Erica Ponte, you join this group? You sure you want to do that? This shit ain't gonna end how y'all feel it's gonna end, because ain't nobody really just asked Rita why you don't ever want to join none of this shit. It's always something in the back end that if you not really paying attention to who is who, what is what, and how they fucking move, you gonna find yourself caught up in some bullshit that you don't want no fucking parts of. I don't want no parts of that shit. History tends to repeat itself. 33 years in the making. History tends to repeat itself. Somebody go back 33 years, March 13th. Somebody go figure out where the fuck you were and what was going on around you. And especially if you call yourself a hood baby, trench baby, government fucking cheese baby, go back to March 13th, 33 years from right now. So meaning if you ain't in your motherfucking 30s and you ain't 33 years old right now, sit your ass down. I ain't talking to you unless you knew what your mama was doing around that time. Either you can be 32 turning 33 or you turning 33 this year. What was your mama and granny them doing around the time you was either created or being fucking born? And if you don't fucking know, sit your ass down. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you motherfuckers that you over fucking 33 and above. History tends to repeat its motherfucking self. Nothing is a fucking coincidence. They just want to see who's stupid. How blind are you? It don't matter if, oh, well, I'm this. Shit. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. Trust and believe that. They just want to go ahead and make sure, are you a person that's likable? Are you going to get any? Because this shit that I'm doing is actually meant to be fucking private. But when you're only left with the only option of for you to speak up like this, they are only allowing my shit to keep going. And somebody's like, it's only going because of me. No, motherfucker. You ain't realizing certain shit where it could have already been dun, dun. It's like somebody is really running this shit. It's like, are they going to pay attention? They think she's joking. The fact that they think that she's joking, this is making it even more marvelous. Somebody is like literally in the background having like the best laugh of their fucking life. And the reason being is like, I guarantee they're not going to believe her. They're going to go against it. And the fact that they're going against it, shit, you're giving these motherfuckers more evidence. There's necessary fucking evils in the world. There's certain people that you can just get away with this shit because somebody's like, she's absolutely right, correct. You know, even though they're gonna do this shit and they know for a fact that I'm talking about is I'm only gonna the situation is gonna go one or two ways. You just gotta be psychologically, mentally, and emotionally fucking prepared for it. And somebody is like, they're kind of shook at it because it's like, how the fuck? But it's like, shit, she right though. But let's see if they gonna start listening. 100% more often than not, when they're in their emotion and they be like, I'm grown, I'm not emotional. Yeah, the fuck you are. You gotta be a fucking emotional, sad, depressed ass bitch to sit there and still try to mirror a phone, hack the internet, pay people to still go into a community when clearly these big people know I'm going to solve it. They know this. They know that I know what the fuck goes on and how the shit go. But the beauty of this situation is, are you listening? I don't give a fuck about you believing it or not, but shit. If you don't believe it, how you achieve it? Because at the end of the day, can I get an encore? Do you want more? But by then, shit. Here today, gone tomorrow. And I don't mean physically. But here, now you should have listened. Now here, where I was giving you fair prices, you should have came. But the fact that you didn't, and you was going against it, intentionally and really feeling like you was doing what the fuck I was doing when you should have been fucking learning. I'm about to learn you something. Go learn something. Cause somebody's like, why is it not? Because they shocked and surprised you work for the church. Oh, the church situation. Now that shit, like if motherfuckers needed their TV reviews to go back up and they needed people to go back to watch TV and get the fuck off the phone, this shit right here that I'm talking about, every fucking news station, TV station that ever had fucking low views over the last 3 to 5 years, the situation, the shit I'm talking about, they know that shit is going to do numbers. And it's not only here in the United States, this shit is global. They're literally paying attention who's going to be stupid and who's going to keep going against it. They even paying attention to what celebrities going to keep putting their money into this shit, what real estate companies, what stocks are going to do this, what police departments and sheriff departments. Shit, Polk County is already sitting there like, you want me to do what? I guarantee one fucking county in motherfucking Florida, Polk County. Polk County going, you need me to do what? I ain't got no parts of that. She over there in Melbourne. What the fuck you talking about? I guarantee you Grady ass probably said that, her ass over there in Melbourne. I mean, what we saw is what we saw. But, she in Melbourne. This is Polk County. They're Polk County. That's one fucking county I can say in motherfucking Florida that's sitting there. The shit that I'm talking about, when they looking at churches, police officers, this shit is going to be something of the century. But who would not be the better fucking target for this? Because it's also a publicity thing, and it's also a miraculous thing because shit, why not do this shit with a black woman? Shit, we need that. I know you do. I got you, Pooh. And you speak other languages, sort of fuck do. I appreciate you though. So the fact that you and we all on the same fucking thing because somebody can feel like, oh, I can do. No, baby, they're already watching your ass to do the stupid shit. They got you on camera. Smile. You're on camera. How? A drone. Dodo. Fruit Loops. You gonna eat some Fruit Loops? I like Fruit Loops. I like the fruity, pale face ass motherfuckers. This is gonna be a reason why when they go back over this shit on a political aspect, and this is them, damn, somebody gonna get their lick back. And Biden, who was Biden's vice? Biden's administration? Anybody that worked for Biden? This shit is fit to be immaculate. And they know everything that I'm fucking talking about. This shit right here is going to be of the motherfucking century. Because it's like, oh, you want to keep holding her money. Okay. Y'all say y'all gave this back to her. Not to mention, you try to assault her. You try to abuse her. You knew that there was something going on with her. Then you sit these people out. Then you try to sit there and do something with Trojan horses. Somebody runs a horse stable or do something with horses. Somebody with Wyoming. Somebody that ride Mustangs and shit like that. They they've been watching all of that shit, and somebody sitting here like, oh, and then they listen to these people. Shit, if you look at their motherfucking track record, I don't know why anybody did. Well, their family Parhams, they had this type of land and they was stupid enough to sell it. I wouldn't have been that motherfucking desperate, especially if my history, my ancestors bust their ass to have that in the land. I don't give a fuck what you want to build over there. It's mine, and I'm getting the taxes off that shit. But they wasn't smart enough to do none of that. The Parhams, well, y'all sell that shit to motherfuckers? Nah, motherfuckers. Now they know how to go ahead and run y'all asses with this shit. Now it's like, now y'all got to be the embarrassment of the whole Clarksville, Tennessee, or the state of motherfucking Tennessee. Y'all got to be the whole fucking embarrassment. And then now this shit got to go all the way to fucking Memphis. Shit, if they ever needed a reason to take away the motherfucking history of Martin Luther King being shot over there in Memphis, right now, all this shit that y'all went on ahead and did, y'all just gave them fucking grounds to do that. If they wanted to take away certain fundings from TSU, whoever got motherfuckers involved in this shit, you just gave Tennessee and them motherfuckers on the background reasons and grounds to do this shit. You was letting churches and shit like that, and especially the black churches who wanted to go on the come up, you just gave them white folks, as some black folks like to say, you let them white folks and them crackers go ahead and do what it is. You went on ahead and just gave them fucking reason and ground on why shit Donald Trump said I wanted to move to 1965. They'll do this shit for Martin Luther King, but Malcolm X, don't worry. But history tends to fucking repeat itself. And y'all giving them grounds where they can take away the funding, where they can take away what reason why y'all have particular concerts or people coming there. Y'all did that shit. PHA, y'all wanted to go ahead and do that. Y'all want to go ahead and apply for the paperwork to become Moors and become private citizens and shit. They fit this. You giving them grounds of reason why y'all can't do that shit now. Especially if you got in bed with any of the motherfuckers that I have been mentioning all the way up to this point. In them states, Michigan, some parts of Illinois, Texas, and shit like that. If you've been working with these motherfuckers and you've been working with some Masons, Eastern Stars, some military veterans, or people on there, and they're black, Native American, Hispanic, or biracial of any fucking sorts, or Indian from India, or I feel like the Arabic motherfuckers already been like, hey, we out. Yeah, we out. I don't know about you, but we good. We already did our parts with bombing and shit, but we're good. Haram to my Allah. Okay, mashallah. They got it. They got it. They caught on to it. For somebody, they caught on to this shit about 3 to 5 months ago. For somebody, 8 months ago. They just was going along with it if it came to certain shit, and they was collaborating with motherfuckers out in Mexico until they figure out what was going on with Mexico when they was doing their hacking shit, and what the fuck they fucking found. They already knew that they had to fucking move the fuck around. They had to move around. But if you still doing this shit, you gonna see here shortly the Tom Joyner morning show or the Tom Joyner cruise and shit. Texas football teams, basketball teams, sports teams of any sort of Texas. Heavy in the football league. That shit come back to haunt you. Old school 90s to 2000 music groups or people who started companies, black or Hispanic. They own that shit. This shit would be very big. I highly suggest a lot of people. So if y'all didn't take the warning and y'all sitting here allowing somebody else to take the warning, they're not going to be able to elaborate what it is that the fuck I'm talking about. They can stream all day and try to play like they doing shit. Leslie, Michelle, whatever fuck your bitch ass name is, Looter. Don't sit here trying to take credit for somebody else's shit, because bitch, count your motherfucking days, ho. Your ass would to be in the grave, ho. An Aquarius. Oh, I got this message for this and you set a whole lot of motherfuckers up. Unbeknownst to them, and some motherfuckers thought that they was getting away with some shit, especially if it's something with guns in the mercenary fucking world. You're the reason why that shit is coming to the light. There's a method to the madness whenever they allow you to do certain shit. You ever notice that, hey, if you catch on that one given part that somebody figured out some shit that you did, said, move, or how you fucking move, overstand and understand at the same time it's a setup. Now, the thing of it is, psychologically, behaviorally, they're going to see what it is that you do and how much you're going to do. So right now, how some people been moving there, it's like, well, what's protecting you? Who's protecting you? You won't ever know until they get ready to come arrest you. Bait. You ever heard of bait, right? You wanted to play bait and switch, right? You ever wanted to come play pretend when I already know it's pretend? And they already know, hey, the capabilities this motherfucker have, it can fuck up your head in the worst way. And I don't want to be the person to be sitting there trying to figure that shit out over the next 3 to 5 years. It's somebody that knows that. However, someone didn't ever ask the question, well, why y'all won't just do it personally yourselves? Someone didn't bother to ask that question. The fact that you didn't, somebody about to see. It's a setup from the beginning. Even down to my motherfucking kids, it's a setup. Because of course, you got, if you want to know, go ahead and do certain clinical researches are being done. They're not only going to test the mother, they're going to test the children's too, just to see their capabilities, right? What they're going to do, how far they're going to take it, what was going to be the behavior, shit. Some of them, they sitting there like, damn, your children are a formulation of you, not just how you grew them up and shit like that. The capabilities of how far they will go with shit. Somebody's about to see.